ito ay rated SPG. Striktong patnubay at gabay ng magulang ang kailangan. Maaaring may masiselang tema, lengguwahe, karahasan, sexual, horror o droga na hindi angkop sa mga bata.
From being broken to being chosen. From being rejected to being protected. By Evelino Jr. D. Vidal. It's not always easy to smile and be nice when we are called to sacrifice. It's not always easy to put others first, especially when tired and feeling our worst. It's not always easy to do God's will. It wasn't easy to climb the Calvary's hill, but we, as children, should learn to obey, not seeking our own, but seeking God's will. It's not always easy to fight the good fight, but it's always good and it is always right. Since I was a kid, I am believer of our Lord Jesus Christ. I've always thanked for Him, for the blessings that I get to Him, especially in our family. Then, apparently, my life, our family turns out to be complicated and miserable. When my mother and father separated 10 years ago, it was a unforgettable and heartbreaking for us as one of their children. I couldn't forget that day. He is still arguing in front of us, murmuring any vulgar words that is not applicable to hear those words. To begin with my heartbreaking story, let me introduce myself to the audience. I am Mr. Evelino Jr. D. Medalla, but you can call me Eve for short. I am 19 years of age and a freshman and BEd1 student. Our family before was very fantastic and convenient since I have 5 siblings and I am the third order in our family. Before, we both still living at Carmen Agusan del Norte. I grown up with full of discipline and values that my uncle taught me because he was the one who assigned to take over with us. My father was a retired soldier and my mother was a housewife. Actually, we had a comfortable and simplest family that I could ever describe before. We had our little sari store and I am full of love with the people who surround me. Until in the year 2008 when we leave our place and went to Cebu because my aunt convinced my mom to live there in Cebu because she said that it was an abundant place to live there and it might be good, a lucky charm for them when they're going to build a business there. On that day, my father went there to move. I never expected that we suddenly turns out to be complicated or miserable. It was a heartbreaking moment from me when my parents arguing in front of us. I am so depressed that time. And I pray to God. And I talked to Him like this. I said, why Lord? Why I need to experience this? And unfortunately, it wasn't happen. all I want is to have a simplest and comfortable family. So that time, I am more depressed with my studies being affected during the situation of our family. Such as I always lied to my mother. I experienced cutting classes before, and I just hid somewhere that no one will trace me where am I. In fact, I am unconscious that time on what's the real reason behind their arguments. It was my ninth grade. Since my parents seems to get misunderstanding or get argue. And I'll ask my mom like this. What are your problem, mom? Why are you still arguing with dad? My mom replied like this. Don't worry, son. I'll be going to fix this issue as soon as possible. And she will try to rebuild the family that both of them were destroyed. And my mom's promise were all useless. And my mom's promise were being trashed or useless. When their argue gets deeper and deeper. Every night, my mom stayed late in home. My dad started to murmur with mom. My dad always blamed my mom that she is an irresponsible mother and irresponsible wife for my dad. My dad always trying to get attention with my mom. That is so very for her business. Until one day, I already tired with their issue, repeating nonsense argue, and sooner, I just realized and accept that our family will never be the same as before. I just bear in my mind that both of them had a mistake. I am not favor with one of them. I am fear to evaluate their mistakes. Now, in the present time, I never attach with that issue. Instead, I'll just strive my own to have a good life. When my parents got separated, my dad supported me, my studies until these present days. And now, I currently study in Hingoog Institute Christian College. My dad provides me a good financial in terms of my study. Since my dad was the one who supported us, he have a pension now. Last year, I graduated in senior high school as one of the highest honor in our batch. I got the Excellence Award, Deportment Award, and the last one is Service Award. It is fulfilling goals in my life. It makes me more encouraged to do my studies well. I never expected that I came this so far. Despite of our family situation, this is my own hard work and I must continue to keep soar high in my dreams. I still surpassed all the trials that I've encountered in my whole life. And my achievement, I dedicated it to myself as a good example that I never affected with our family situation. Instead of hating my parents, instead of rebellion, and I just continue my ambition to become a successful professional someday. And to tell you more, why I choose the title of my story that from being broken to being chosen and from being rejected to being protected is that I am one of the exemplar of God, that He really changed me. He was the one who comforted me with all my frustrations and disappointments in life before and until I realized that life is a long journey. It is a mountain that we should climb every day. And suddenly, I bear in my mind that I have the purpose in living. And suddenly, I bear in my mind that I have the purpose of living in this world that God pointed out with me that I will never stop the journey in life. To all my audience watching my TED Talk presentation, this is my simply reminder to them or advice to them. Whenever you are very disappointed with your situation now, just don't forget to talk with God and tell Him all your problems, and He will listen to you for you to be more brave enough to face your challenge with God. Because in this life, God has a purpose why He gave problem to those individuals. In order for them to have the connection with God, God gave you a problem by purpose. He wants you to strengthen your faith in Him. In every problem, there's a great lesson. For that, we will enlighten our mind and soul. Furthermore, prayer is the best weapon for all. Furthermore, prayer is the best weapon for all. Talk to God, listen to God, and pray for God. This is the end of my presentation. I hope all of you guys will be inspired and motivated with my story. And in addition, all of your problems or your circumstances in life, you should always pray to God. Because He will listen to you no matter what your problems are or how bigger your problems are. Do not forget to have a connection with God. Because in Him and through Him, your life will be go smoothly. And again, reminder that we cannot achieve our goals or we cannot be success without our Lord's presence.